It's so dead in our jungle. We just have no idea what's going on in all of this area. All of this area, we have no idea. Like, so that means that we have to take initiative, and we've got to be the one to set down wards then. So we're going to need something that's going to at least draw a line for us. And, like, if I can get a ward here or here or here, a control ward here, this gives me, like, this whole line that I can know that I'm safe from, right? Because somebody probably didn't walk past it. Also, in this situation here, I wouldn't even have minded us, like, just staying and like seeing if we could get, they obviously saw us, but there's just so many different plays you can take at the level 1 there. We could try to take the red just because we have our whole team there and we have Pantheon there. And we have a pretty decent level 1 obviously with like Caitlyn, you, and Lux. Just because you have a shield, you have AoE damage, we have a stun from Lux. There's a lot of different things we can do. Now obviously with Kayn being top, we make the decision to go and get our top camps, which is good. But I would have loved to see us just put a ward down and then recall instead, and then go ahead and get the sweeper. We should be looking to get the sweeper at the beginning of every game, because if we want to make those early ganks, we need to know where those initial wards are. And by the time you do like a full clear, you'll actually have like your ward ready to go too, or your sweeper ready to go, so we can just know where they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously,
like,
go ahead.
Like I would have started bot side this game, just because Kayn has no flash and he's going to push the lane, so like kind of like this free gank, because early volley's a bit weak against like a Lucian army, so I would have played top side for a bit and then went bot later.
Gotcha. So what I'm assuming, or what I'm thinking at least, is that it's Lucian Nami against Caitlyn and Lulu, and that this is going to get pushed, and by the time that we're down there, we can make a play, because I'm assuming that Trundle started top side. Well, he just full cleared, huh? He just clears way faster than you. He's already got... He went buff, Gromp. Yeah, he did 3 camps, and then he's looking to go mid. But I kind of want to, just because I feel like we're going to do better with whoever's going to do the most damage. And it just seems like bot lane is going to be better, because I would assume they would get pushed. Now, they play very aggressive, and they get the kill. So that's the whole thing with like jungling, is obviously it's like a mini game, and you just kind of pick which one is going to be best for you. And I think getting like an early lead or stopping, because if Lucian Nami get behind, then they're just kind of useless, right? It's unfortunate that they get a double kill at the beginning there, but if they do go behind, then we just win. But even in this scenario where we want to, like, he runs through top and checks, and you've already taken it, so he like walks through back, and then he comes up to you here in blue, so he was going to invade you regardless. Like, even if you did go from bot to top, he was still going to be there to invade you. And I don't know how good it would really be, just because Pantheon dies, he would still have like prio in this situation if we were like top side, where Trundle would still be able to invade you. The only thing is obviously Trundle's kind of like a pain in the early levels, because he just has lethal tempo and he just can kill basically anybody early. I think that Trundle's probably like one of the best level 1 champions and like early game champions with his power spikes. So, you know, obviously we kind of just have to concede it, and then maybe play off of our bot lane that's coming back to lane here. And we might be able to like play around with it a little bit. We didn't, I don't think, I just think this fight could have gone a lot differently. I think we could have stalled it out more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I used my E on the camp. I had no shield.
Yeah. But like right when we see him, just keeping our health bar high, just getting away from him, truly. And we did use all of our cooldowns, I understand that completely. But if we got the flash, we have to flash, because we do have, you know, we have Caitlyn and we have Lulu coming, and we have enemy laners all the way back here. So we're going to get, obviously, huge first priority here if we can just stall it out a little bit longer. Now, maybe we can't save the blue buff, but we got to at least like save our Gromp and like push him away, which wastes his time a lot. And then also bring our team into Scuttle if need be, because they're going to have first prio, because this wave is kind of stacked here as well. So it's going to kind of just like looking around and understanding like what just happened in the bot lane. Obviously, ours is going to get there first. Now we might have to sacrifice a blue buff, but at least we don't die, and at least we can fight off the Gromp and possibly get a kill from Trundle, because our bot lane is here a lot earlier. Plus, they have nothing to go to lane for anyways because of their wave. You know, this is going to shove, and they're not going to really be able to do anything about it, and then they're going to be able to bounce it back. So, just being a little bit more patient in the actual play, because this also sets Trundle up for a gank, which is kind of, you know, these are things that are out of your control, obviously, in just the game of League of Legends. Obviously, they should have like the understanding that he's bot lane, and they also see him beforehand.
Yeah,
So
they see him coming and don't react.
yeah, they just don't. And now, obviously, when I do like coaching sessions, I don't really want to talk about like what our team is doing, just because we can't control what they're doing. Now, the only thing that I wish I would have seen more, honestly, and something that I wrote down as well, is that I didn't see like pinging with intent and like just telling your team what you're doing. Obviously, like pinging cooldowns if somebody uses something that you can like throw out there just so your team knows with a timestamp on it. Like you don't have to type out the fucking thing, but assuming that somebody has the timestamp on, just throwing out like 3 pings real quick, like that you're like, I want to set up for this, like assist me, assist me, assist me, and then like showing that you're like walking up to it, showing intent that this is what the play that I want to make, so that our laner can start making that play, right? Or like, and we'll talk about it as we get to that point, but like after we get this dragon here, like the whole fight, you go into the fight and you realize that we need to get this dragon or we lose the game because it's soul. We get the dragon, then we just spam ping 3 times. We run away, we spam ping real quick, off, 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 and then like you just assume. You gotta show some sort of intent or some sort of leadership, and that's how you'll like climb. You always want to like be the one who's like making the calls, even if they're not even necessarily like considered calls. It's just like we're saying that I don't want to do this, or I want to gank this, or whatever it may be, right? And then our team will respond to what you're doing. This was good, and then we looked. I think we went over the wall and tried to go for another. Or do we die here? We do, unfortunately, don't we?
Yeah, trying to.
Yeah, because we went for the dive. Yeah. I think we would have died anyways, just from the dive. I wouldn't say, like, I'm actually okay with that trade, to be honest. I mean, it's not like, you know, insanely worth, but it's like something, it's just like putting pressure on. And then it kind of just sets up the wave. It's going to crash, hit, and then bounce back. So, really not the worst thing ever. You know, this is why it's just so much better to go ahead and just grab sweeper and grab control wards on every back, because we want to like create like lines of vision. So it felt like throughout this entire game that you just didn't have any, you know what I mean? And we're relying, our bot lane is obviously getting beat. They're getting pushed in the tower and they can't really do much to, and we would hope that somebody would like put vision down as well. But it's like when we look at like the map from our perspective, it's so dead in our jungle. We just have no idea what's going on in all of this area. All of this area, we have no idea. Like, these are such bad wards that we do have placed, and then obviously these aren't your wards, but I'm just saying this is what we got for vision. We got 2 wards here and here, so we've got nothing at all. So that means that we have to take initiative, and we've got to be the one to set down wards then. So we're going to need something that's going to at least draw a line for us, because we just don't have anything. And just having the ability to, like, this is all like working in layers, and like if I can get a ward here, or here, or here, a control ward here, this gives me like this whole line that I can know that I'm safe from, right? Because somebody probably didn't walk past it. Or I can have like this whole river and know that nobody's in my jungle because I would have seen it if they walked over this line. So not knowing that Trundle is like right here doing our gromp when we're moving in and they're about to get dove is like a pretty big deal, right? Like the fact that he was able to get in and walk through and just have nothing at all, nobody see him, is crazy. And like that's why we take the sweepers and we buy control wards on every back and we use them and we put them in good spots. Like ideal spots that are going to allow us to like create layers of vision that we won't get, that they can't walk over very easily, right? And we just didn't have it. We just didn't really have any of that. And now obviously, you know, you want your team to help you with it, but if they can't, then they can't. Or if they don't, then they don't. So we got to take initiative and do that as well. And then like this here, we just got to accept that we're not beating it 1v1. It's just not happening. This is a really, really good trade. I get the idea. I feel like you were trying to like set it up for Lux to finish the kill, but we also have to realize that like looking on once again like from our side of vision, we just don't see anything at all. Like they just got the kill on Caitlyn bot lane, and we don't know if they're like on dragon. So even if you step up here and you try to fight him, you have to assume this is about like a 2-second response time for them to walk from dragon that they're auto attacking to you. They're not gonna walk back to bot lane, especially with dragon up. You would assume that they're gonna actually take the like main objective on the map. So they're probably here anyways, and you also see that Scuttle's got hourglass on it, so you know that's coming too. So they're probably just waiting maybe to get that and then get it. They've got mid prio as well, so taking any fight when we have no bot prio, we have no mid prio, we have no vision, and the dragon and Scuttle are coming up, we would assume that this is a very populated spot right now. There's a lot of traffic here, and that
there's no fight.
Yeah, we just can't. It was a good trade. Like, I really like this trade, and it kind of like sets us up for an opportunity to possibly come back once we see. Like, imagine if instead of right here, once we take this trade, we just back off and go hit this plant. Like, now we know that this guy's low. We got vision on, and we see Nami's low as well. We got Lux here. Doesn't have a lot of mana, but possibly could throw out an ulti to help us or something like that. Maybe we can wrap back around here, right? And then try to make a play with Caitlyn when she gets here, or possibly Lulu. Because if they do start doing the dragon, at least we know that they're low enough and they're going to be taking damage from it. It's not like anybody here has like healing, right? Nobody's healing from it. So they're going to take a little bit of damage from that, and then maybe we could look for some sort of play there. Because it was a perfect trade. I mean, it was a perfect trade. You're full health. Like, you didn't take any damage at all. So ideally, we get this huge trade on Trundle and then walk away, come around, and then maybe try to throw some vision somewhere. Since we still have the yellow wards, unfortunately. Maybe we can throw one over the wall, try to look or something like that, or just walk out, look, and then if not, we just queue backwards, use our movement speed to get away, reset, and then make the decision if we want to like try to go for it. Anytime that it's the same situation as like when we're getting invaded like this and it feels like unplayable as a jungler, like, there's still ways to make these plays happen. It's just like buying time. We're buying time for our ADC to get back and possibly, you know, put out some damage for us. Buying time for Lulu to possibly get back and help us. It's the same thing when we fought him right here on the blue buff. It's like we need to buy time because we're not winning the 1v1. And especially when we already saw that we're not winning the 1v1 either because we tried to fight him earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, Lux kind of just missed everything too, and I'm like, yeah, I'm dead.
True, but even if she does hit it, it's not like we're going to kill all 4 in a 2v4, you know? Like, game feels bad, but game isn't, like, terrible. Once again, wish that we had a control ward to put down because we're just not lining up any vision. Like, he's on it right now, he's doing it, and we just did not put anything. If we just had, like, a control ward or something to just put over that when we walk over it. He was basically just, like, taking all the objectives he possibly could, and we didn't have any way to react because we just didn't know. We just had no idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this I would have loved to see, like, as you're taking this, like, we're cutting it backwards. And then I think we kind of, like, got confused for a second. The ideal play would have been just to walk straight down. And this chunks off, like, 3 seconds off of us here. Like, we should have already been in this bush now and then coming out now. Lucian's far gone. But just faster pathing. Like, because we weren't going to come around here. And then, cause I know that we have flash up, but how unideal would it be to like flash over this wall to like get a kill when we could just walk through the river and just be so much quicker, right?
Yeah.
And then this was the play I really thought we could just take here. Because we saw Trundle down here and we knew that he wasn't here. I really thought if she would walk up, like if we're pinging, like imagine if we're pinging like for intent that like assist, she can start lining up differently than the way that she is now. Because if she knows that you want to go for that, she could possibly be playing for a bait, move up a bit. Like when she moves up here just to auto attack, Orianna moves up as well. And there's no she's got this warded. But like at the same time, just like pinging, giving yourself a better opportunity and actually like saying that you want to do something. And like maybe having her mess up and like walk up and trying to like get a kill on Lux. Just so that we can give it a shot.
Yeah.
I just think it would have been better to stay instead of backing and buying as well in this situation. I feel like we had blue buff and Gromba and just staying would just be more ideal because we only backed and we bought just we finished the boots, but we knew that Trundle was still down here because we saw him here and then he took some damage and he walked away. He probably went and did a camp and then setting up, so he just gets pressure here. Now this was good though. We had to make a decision here. Either we're going back for this, which we're probably not going to win, or we're just splitting it entirely and we're going for the Lucian. This was like a good decision. This was, you know, making a quick decision and saying that at least I know I can kill this guy. I'll trade your blue for, you know, 700 gold. That's a huge win. That's a massive win. This literally that play right there actually brought you back into the game. So now we're down by 500 gold overall as a team after that play. So that's a massive play. So we see a negative, which is them setting up to take this, but they're leaving something vulnerable. We capitalize on the mistake and we go ahead and get that. I think I understand the idea. Is to set it up for Lux. But at the same time, I just think that there comes a point like where you're fighting it and you realize that Lux just isn't there in time. Like I see Ori before I see Lux get there and it's just like it's too late. And I think like we're not really respecting Trundle's damage and we don't have a threshold already ready to go in mind and understanding like the severity of the situation and realizing that Dragon is up and that they already have a Dragon and that we just got a big shutdown on Lucian that basically tied up the game. We're at 10 to 10. We don't really need to do anything here. It's like if we just walk away, then the lead, their lead stays the same. It's barely anything. It's 500-600 gold, and we can reset and come up with a new plan. It's like giving the dragon up there, but also not giving them back this 2.5k gold lead when it was only at 600. And then they set up and they're able to get position, get dragon for free without having to worry about it. Like, you staying alive is more of a threat than you trying to contest it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see the use of the F keys, by the way, a little bit more, because, like, when you are jungling, it's not too often where you don't have an opportunity where you're auto-attacking it and you just kind of, like, click F2, F3, F4, and just, like, kind of look through. It's not like you need to be fucking Faker and you need to be, like, clicking through it every time you weave an ability, right? It's just, like, knowing what's going on, and just, like, or even, like, clicking the map real quick. If you see somebody, too, like, when somebody's faces are over each other, I like to check what's going on real quick. Be like, okay, that's what's going on, I'm back to me. Like, check, spacebar, back to me. Like, check, spacebar, back to me. Check, okay, check. Alright. I'm walking over here. What am I doing? This is going on here. Do I have a gain? You know what I mean? Like, constantly gaining information on the map. So we actually use our sweeper. We know this isn't warded. This is just another play where it's just like we're not patient enough. We just... Oh, wow, they actually saw you on it, too. Unfortunate that our thing ran out just at the last second, didn't it? Let me see that again. So what I was telling you to make that play, that's exactly what I want. It ran out right here, so you were able to see half the bush, not this. When I was telling you to go through, like, I would love to see the ward or the sweeper activated right in this spot, and then we kind of like ideally we activate the sweeper, right? And then we walk through, like, we put it on here, and then we walk through so we can see this, and then we kind of like hover here so we can see this, and then when we wrap back around we see this, and this is how we know if this is actually open and available. But even in this situation here, we know that Caitlyn is all the way up here, right? So Caitlyn's all the way up here. We would ideally want to wait. So even if this is not warded, we still would wait. We still want Caitlyn here because, for one, it's just more team gold. Any assist is just an extra 100 plus gold for your team in general, just because it's an assist. You know what I mean? So we ideally would just want to wait for it for a second. So now, unfortunately, the sweeper ended, and it literally, by the way, if you saw that, it literally cut off right here. So this part of the war bush did not get sweeped, which is just so unfortunate, truly. But if we would have just turned it on a little bit later, just at this point, just because we don't really care about this too much. If there was a ward in there, if they see you walk this way, they might just assume that, okay, maybe you're going to check this, or maybe you're checking raptors, or maybe you're checking this, whatever. A lot of people completely will see you there in the bot lane, and you notice it from your own bot lanes as well. They will literally see you and then just fucking forget about you. You know what I mean? Just completely forget about you and let you do your thing. So, like, in this situation, I get I'm assuming, so we're going for, you're picking one target and you're going for Lucian, but why are you going for Lucian?
I should just go for Nami because she's in front of me. Like,
that's what I think too. I think that we should go for the one that we know that is the most killable. I understand that, like, we're trying to take out, you see an ADC, you want to take out ADC. ADC is the most damage, but I also feel like they are so close to the tower that ideally what you're trying to do, what I'm thinking when I'm going for Lucian, is that I'm going for Lucian because I want to kill Lucian and Nami. But if I'm going for Nami, I'm going for Nami because I know that I can only get Nami, but I can still get out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So going for Lucian is obviously taking away their damage so that we can, that we can kill both. But in this situation, there's just no way that we could kill both. So we got to pick whoever's going to be the quickest one to kill, the easiest one to kill, and we just go for that realistically.
Okay.
So I'm curious on some of our fights. So why did we take this 1v1? Have you won 1v1s like this before, or? Because I know you have a decent amount of Volibear games.
But like, I guess I just didn't notice the level lead and stuff. I was a bit behind her. But like the W heal for Volibear, no one expects it. Yeah.
A different concept to start taking in is to assume that each level up is equivalent to about 500-600 gold. Because it is. Like, stats-wise. Like, when you talk about the HP, the armor, the AD, the MR, all of that, the attack speed, when you add in all those stats, like, every time somebody levels up, you have to assume that it's an extra like 400 or 500 gold on them, right? So this person is 2 levels up on you, along with already having more gold than you. So we're talking about, you know, an 1,000 gold difference plus another 1,000. That's about 2,000 gold. We don't know the summoners that she has. If she has Flash and Ghost, you're not gonna be able to catch her. If she has her ulti, you're not gonna be able to catch her, right? Because we don't have. Now, if we have our ulti, maybe it's a different story, right? Maybe it's a different story if we have our ulti and we could totally go for it. But in this situation, I just don't think that it's winnable, and we just kind of like avoid it entirely. There was a lot of 1v1s that we just like, or like fights that we just kind of went for. And we just did not have the damage for at all, you know?
Yeah.
Your playstyle is so much more Wukong than it is Volibear, by the way. I think you might get away with Volibear, and I understand. I saw that your win rate's higher on Volibear, but I think that it's just because it's Volibear. I think that you play better on Wukong, though. And I think the way that I watched you play this game, too, I think that you would just play Wukong a lot better as a jungler. Like, you want to be aggressive, you want to make plays, you want to be sneaky, you want to be quick. I feel like he just fits that playstyle so much better. I think I would really avoid, like, I would only really play Volibear if we need, like, a complete front line of some sort. I think that you would have killed it on Wukong in this game, to be honest. So, I'm, like, genuinely curious, like, in some of these plays. So, like, in this one, for example, like, what's the thought process as we're doing this? We see... You just tell me what you're thinking.
Okay, well, I see Lucian stunned, so I just go for him. I've got water walking and stuff, so I can catch him. And then at this point, I went a bit too far. Then like, if I did get the stun on Lucian, I kill him. But
what happens after you kill him, though?
I'd probably die. Maybe. I mean, if Lulu keeps the shields and stuff, then maybe I could outplay them, because they're all like half HP.
I think that you're gonna have to use all your cooldowns to kill Lucian, and then you're just not gonna be able to get away regardless of what she does, because she doesn't have her ulti up. And we can see that as well. Once again, this is another one of those situations where I feel like it's better to be like patient, because they are really low. You're right, they are really low, and none of them, they don't have lifesteal. Besides, Kayn can probably go lifesteal off something, but the rest of them won't, right? And it's low mana for Ori, so we get to this point where we are like right here. And then we just back away with the Lulu, and then maybe possibly wait for Caitlyn. Then we can try to, because this comp is more of a poke comp. You have a long range ADC. You got Caitlyn. You've got Lux, and Lux is the person that we're really like playing off of because they have most of our damage. But then we have Pantheon as well, who can like dive into fights and help us too. But it's like, I just don't. I don't see a world where you like get the Lucian and then like it ends up being a good play even if you do kill him, because it just seems like kind of pointless. You use all your cooldowns to get him, and then you just die. And even if you don't die, you get away, whatever. Trundle comes, and they just take the dragon then. Because now you've been pushed off because you're completely, like, 0 HP if you do get away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is basically exactly what happens. So now we're low, and we just kind of give it. Now, if we're, like, full health, maybe it's different, and we can, like, put a little bit more pressure on it. And then see if Caitlyn wants to walk down and, like, throw some auto attacks at this Ori that has no HP right now. Maybe go for a steal, whatever. We survive, which is fine. But it's just like thinking about the play after the play. So you're going to make, in your head, you're like, I'm going to make this play. But what are you going to do after that play? We really held on to like our wards a lot too. I would have loved to see if like just put a control ward into the Baron pit just because we can. Like just put one there just so we know. Because I think we held on to it otherwise and didn't really use it. And I mean, we started to respect him more and we were like, this is, I mean, that's a good play, right? Like you get his R out and you don't really use anything for it. You walk up to him, you hit him, and then he uses his R, which is cool. Now, obviously, it's not that long of a cooldown. It's like a minute and 15 seconds, but at the same time, like, it's something. It's like now we can, like, start looking for, like, maybe any type of engage where Trundle is, and it might help us out. Now, this is just, like, a tough one. I know that I told you to, like, get the gold and then back up, but I do feel like there was a safer way to do it. Like, you didn't really need that much. How much did we sit on? 900. And we still have a refillable, which we can sell too, so you could probably just, like, start running away, like, 3 seconds ago once you had enough. And survive. We just pushed a little far there, especially where the game is like so volatile, and it's like if we like die like this at all, we might just lose the game for it. We were really just looking to get like those.
Let Lux die there and just not even try and help. Just leave.
Well, you walking up we got both of us killed, right? We were really just looking for some quick gold. We had 900. We need like 2 minions. So like this E. And then a bite, and now we just walk away now. right? We just queue away now. Get out of it, just because we have nothing. I don't see anything. This is your guys' vision here. You got nothing on this side, you got nothing on this side, and you see absolutely no one of these 5 people that are alive. There's no vision on this minimap at all. I don't see anyone. I don't see anyone anywhere. But then when we look at their side, we see 1, 2, and we see 3. Now we start queuing away now, we'll just get away, right? But Lux is moving up because you're here, and then we die. So we don't have tier 1, we don't have tier 2. We just don't have anything to really protect us. We don't have any vision. It could be a lot different if you see, like, if you saw Kane up here, and then maybe you see Lucian down here, and then you see, like, so now at least you have some vision. You see, like, 2. It's like, okay, maybe I can finish this wave. But without seeing anything, it's just way too scary to be that far up. And we don't even need the refillable at this point anyways. So we're really just looking to get that item, which is just like 2 quick minions, and then we just back up. You know, we're just looking to get enough gold for that item, and then we just move on.
Okay.
But Lux was already here. She only walked up because you were here, and then, you know, and we both die for it. And now the game starts getting, like, way out of hand. Now we start really falling behind where it's, like, very difficult. And you actually end up getting the dragon, which is, like, actually cool. Like, that keeps us alive a little bit longer by getting it. So this is another one of those situations where it's like just completely coin flip, and I'm surprised that we actually get this. I know that they had just taken Baron, so they were resetting, but you know they have the extended or the faster recall, so they're there pretty quickly. We end up getting this, which is cool, but we don't really like tell our team like that's the play. And now you gotta imagine, like, just because these players are plat, that doesn't mean that they know what's going on. Sometimes you just got to be the lead here and be like, understand the play you're going for here when you're down by 3 dragons and you're just trying to survive the soul, or like stop them from getting soul. We're just trying to get soul and then get the fuck out of there. So we get the dragon. That's a win. Fight over. We won. We won this fight. Everybody get the fuck out. So we got enough poke and slows from everybody where we should just be able to walk away. We should just be able to walk away. Taking the fight is just not worth it. Just not worth it. And basically just everybody dies here.
Okay, they all get zoned by Trundle.
But I mean, we technically won that exchange. The win of the exchange was getting the dragon, which we did. We just all went for... We just went for the fight when we didn't need to, that's all. And realistically, this is the end of the game. And just would have loved to see like more patience. More patience in the early game to stop Trundle from getting any lead from you. Playstyle wise, I really do think that Wukong is more the ideal jungler for you. I think the way that you played it was like super aggressive, which doesn't make it a bad thing. It's just that you need a jungler that's going to match like your playstyle. And I think that if you want to focus on top lane more, you really only need like, you know, that one jungler. I think that he was open this game as well, and I think that he's very OP right now. I think that you can still play volley. It's just that we got to be more aware of like what's going on the map as well. All right, sir, is there anything that you would like to say in closing before I go?
No, it's all good. I'll just work on all this stuff.
Well, hell yeah, then. Like I said, you got a whole week. Ask me any questions, send me clips. If you got anything that you want to ask, go ahead and send it to me. This session technically doesn't end until the 11th. We are ending the session at Plat 475 LP, and I am excited to see your improvement and hear from you, man. So,
yeah.
Cheers, brother. I wish you the best, okay?
Okay.
Good luck out there, man.
All right.
Peace out.